I just want to say thank you for the support on the last video. You guys really liked that one. So this series will continue forward. And sorry guys, I didn't know until after I recorded the video when I went to the doctors. I actually had strep throat while recording, so just make sure to wash your hands and subscribe. Okay, bye.
Hey, Mr. Postman, bring me a post. Bring me the post that I love the most.
I want to yet again bring up the music composition, which is going to happen a lot in this series. This little jingle that Steven sings here also ends up to be Jamie's actual theme.
My song came true! Do you have a package for me today?
Hold on. Let me see what I've got here. Did you order a loaf of bread with a stamp on it?
No!
It's detail like this that makes the music have so much life within this show, and it flows within each character. I got this really cool comment on the Gem Glow video from an actual music creator. They have like the little music symbol by their username, so that means they make music. And they talk about from what they've seen, there's a clear communication from Rebecca Sugar and the rest of the team and the composers of the show. I think this highlights how important communication can be within creativity. It's like someone had to intentionally write this line, think, oh, what if we turned it into Jamie's theme? Get that approved and eventually get that message sent to the composers where they mimic that sort of theme. It's very intentional, right? Like you can feel there was a lot of notes passed between the composers and the creator of the show, probably. What I don't know is intentional is Jamie's nose job that he gets, because later on in the show his snozzle is not that big. He asks Steven if he ordered a loaf of bread with a stamp on it, a jury summons for RJ Finkel.
Hi, I'm looking for Ray Finkel.
That's not me. I'm Steven.
But finally, Jamie pulls out the right package. A package from Wacky Sack's Supply Company.
It says it's from Wacky Sack Supply Company.
Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl think I shouldn't go on magic adventures because I don't know how to use my gem powers.
That seems reasonable.
This is so funny to me because it's like, yeah, this is what you would probably say to some kid just talking about some shit. You have no idea what he's saying.
That seems reasonable.
So Steven mentions he can help save the world with this wacky sack.
With a wacky sack?
Exactly.
You know how you can save my world? Sign here, please.
And that's when Topaz grabs Jamie's neck and threatens to snap it.
Steven?
Oh wait, sorry, that's later in the show. I just think about that every time I see Jamie.
That seems reasonable.
Okay, anyway, Steven signs his name in a very Steven-y way. He didn't go to school, so obviously he wouldn't know cursive.
Barb yells at me if I don't get signatures.
Barb, of course, is Sadie's mother in the series. Everybody's connected in this small little town. And then we see the warp pad illuminate the entire house from outside.
Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl are back!
With this really cool shiny sound effect that isn't used much more. So Steven grabs his wacky sack and enters the temple. Aw, bye Jamie.
Wait, Steven! That seems reasonable.
Steven enters the temple to find feathers sprawled out onto the ground. Garnet's also covered.
Hello, Steven.
Amethyst, we do not need that. It's not going to fit in the fridge. What?
Also, look, the egg has stars on it. So does that mean they fought like a crystal gem, like corrupted gem, or was that like just a regular bird that would like birth star eggs?
Look, it fits!
I don't know, whatever it is, Amethyst killed it. So Pearl mentions that the gems have to go back out, and Steven is upset by this.
You've got to go back out.
What? Why?
We have to place this moon goddess statue on the top of the lunar sea spire before midnight.
You know, he wants to go with them and be accepted as a crystal gem, a theme we see a lot in these earlier episodes, as well as the fact that when Steven doesn't go on these missions, he's either occupying his time in Beach City or he's just alone.
Without it, the whole place will fall apart. Oh, Steven, you should have seen the spire in its heyday. It was an oasis for gems on Earth. It's abandoned now. But we can still save it with this statue.
So, okay, with the retrospect of the entire show, right? What exactly is this sea spire? The fact that oases were being built on Earth, like, implies that they were pretty far along in their colonization plan, right? Also, look at that statue. We know fusions on Homeworld, like, culturally worked a little different, right? Something like this would be seen as forbidden, as it implies two separate gems fused together. This could even be a literal gem in the statue, similar to what we've seen on Homeworld. So Steven's eyes turn into smash balls for a second as he suggests he can carry the statue in his cheeseburger backpack.
Hamburger?
I feel like I can almost tell when Rebecca Sugar just hops on the storyboard. It's just her style is so recognizable. I always can like pick it out. It's always like the little eye bags and emotions that she's really good at.
You can carry it in your hamburger.
Check this out. Everything's a pocket. Even the cheese is a pocket. I can fit a lot more stuff in here. Give me a minute.
So Steven, being surprised about how much space his novelty backpack can hold, he decides to pack some more survival gear for the trip. He puts some bagels in there, some sweaters, a kite, a raft, and look, an N64. And of course, Steven cannot forget about Mr. Queasy.
Mr. Queasy!
I got a medical condition.
You're definitely gonna come in handy.
And I do actually really enjoy this detail of Steven throwing away the medical pack and then placing Mr. Queasy inside. Like, it's obviously played up as a joke, right? Steven literally throwing away a first aid kit. It's like that comedy almost lulls you into a false sense of security. Like, it's so obvious that Steven is doing a bad decision here. You almost don't expect the bad decision to happen.
Whoa, Steven, did you bring your whole room? Back that thing up. Suck it in, Steven! Do you remember how to do this?
And this line from Pearl obviously insinuates that this isn't Steven's first time trying the warp pad. Even so, he has a hard time keeping his footing, or at least he's not taking it seriously. And I just love the poses of the gems here, specifically Amethyst. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, even the goofy character is just closing her eyes, bro. Like, chill.
Keep your head in. Come on.
We don't see much of what's outside of the stream, but it is very mysterious. Like, is it space? Is this a void? It adds to yet the piles of questions that we have about the gems and this technology. And eventually, the gems finally land at the Sea Spire.
The Sea Spire!
Okay, honestly, hearing the gems disdain towards the Spire, one of which, like, wasn't even born during the war, it's interesting to see, like, all three gems distraught at, like, the dilapidated nature of this structure. It's not like Rose's Fountain, right, where Pearl was the only one upset. Everyone's sad here. Maybe the statue, along with this reaction, actually does insinuate this was a crystal gem oasis, and Pearl was simply just sugarcoating for Steven.
I'm sensing structural instability.
Oh yeah, that's never good.
Steven! All right, hold on. We're taking Steven back.
Ooh, my aching stomach.
Actions like these make me fall in love with the characterization of Season 1's characters all over again. Pearl can be such an opposition to Steven, even in the beginning of this episode. She's opposed to bringing him on the trip, but we obviously know it's from a deep love for Steven or Rose or both.
This place is your heritage. I want you to stay and help, but you've really got to take this seriously.
Pearl really is the most motherly to Steven in these beginning episodes, so I appreciate this dynamic now before it turns into, you know, sad Steven.
Can you do that, Steven?
You got it, dude.
Steven has apparently seen Full House.
You got it, dude.
I never watched Full House. I only know this because my ex-girlfriend did, so... Can we get a shout out in the comments? So the gems already encounter some problems while entering the Sea Spire.
What's the holdup?
Magic that sustains the whirlpool creates a vortex that will pull us below.
From what I can gather, this is Sapphire, yet again using her future vision to gauge what happens here.
They work for keeping warm, but check it out.
So Steven here decides to fasten these sweaters together and jump across the canyon.
Don't ever do that again.
Sorry.
But it was pretty great.
This is another nice little sweet character moment showing off the dynamics of the gems with Steven, right? Garnet gives him a motherly head pat, Amethyst is like a sister-like shoulder bump, and Pearl with a nice compliment after tweaking, which is very Pearl-like. Okay, but I'm so interested as to what exactly this Sea Spire is. So far with this episode's brief backstory with Pearl and the gems' reactions, it really makes this structure a mystery. But thanks to Steven, we're actually inside now, so let's take a look at the design. We can see here that there's diamond-like insignia casting light into the halls. Okay, that's a point for this being a diamond base. But then there's goat insignias sprawled across like this little spiral staircase. Does that imply Steven Universe Jr. was behind this building? I think having an earth animal design within your temple is pretty Crystal Gem-esque.
Oh, this didn't used to be so... Oh, and the water damage.
Okay, so now it's confirmed that Pearl has literally been here, which can be a point for both because Pearl's like switched teams. Also, look, we actually get to see the statues and they have multiple limbs. I think that's a point for the crystal gems.
Once the statue's in place, it'll restore all of this to its former glory.
What was that, Goobers?
Crystal shrimp.
Crystal shrimp? Okay, I do just like how much it seemed like Pearl, you know, cared about this place and then just destroys this statue. That's a fun joke, but like also, what the hell is that? Is that like corrupted crystal gems as shrimps? Or are they like, you know, alien parasites that were on the spaceship? Like, I don't really know what these are. Are they like little babies? Like how the centipedal are little babies?
It's an infestation. And we have to pass through there to get to the top.
Can't you just squish them?
Don't touch that! The shards are deadly!
Okay, well, they do have shards, so maybe they are a gem. Maybe it's like a, you know, corrupted hair comb or something. So Pearl devises this, you know, pretty complex plan to avoid the crystal shrimp, having little gem chess pieces all around. You got Amethyst doing a spin attack, Garnet climbing up the wall or something, but then Steven pulls out a bagel.
Bagel sandwich!
And the shrimp move away, hooray! Yeah. It really seems like Steven is finally coming into his own on this mission. He's grown enough and smart enough to make these calls.
How did you know that would work?
Well, if I were a shrimp, that's what I would do.
You are a shrimp. I just want everyone to know my plan would have also worked.
It's funny how Pearl can be such a motherly figure for Steven, while at the same time, they're honestly like the ones that get into fights the most. Their relationship is just a really fun, ever-changing dynamic for me that I really enjoy.
Watch out!
Average Sapphire W, thank you for sensing that.
What are we gonna do?
What? Me?
And okay, here's where I'll mention it. There's a twist that I haven't told you about this episode. So 35 episodes later, this episode is completely recontextualized.
Steven, no. If the Spire had been crucial, we wouldn't have used it as a test for you. It's fine, really.
Test? What do you mean, test?
Well...
I made a video about this a long time ago where I looked like that. Whoa, that's a little crazy. I look like a baby. Which, in thinking as this episode being a test for Steven, makes this moment where all the gems are looking at Steven especially stick out. But could also explain what exactly this Spire is. However the gems acted towards this Spire can just be complete bullshit. Whatever it wasn't that important to the gems, and they were fine with it getting destroyed if Steven fails this mission. And whatever they're doing could just be lying to, you know, usher the importance to Steven for the mission.
So here's a map of all structures that were originally built on Earth. All told, this probably only accounts for maybe 5% of what was originally planned.
Okay, so we're going off on a bit of a tangent. How exactly did Steven solve this river problem?
A raft!
Steven, that's so sensible!
Man, this show isn't known for its humor, but you know, it sure is pretty funny.
Back that thing up.
So eventually the gems make it to the top of the Sea Spire, and everything's looking right so far. Pearl spots the moon goddess pedestal, and the moon is almost overhead.
It's not too late to save this piece of history.
Yeah, okay. You're just, I can't trust you!
Steven, the statue.
Goddamn, man. Listening to that score as Steven digs through this bag, there's such a sense of doom. This song is quite fittingly called Atop the Sea Spire, and this is just yet again the score bringing such energy to this sequence.
I don't have it. What? I must have left it on the bed.
This is also such a kid thing to do, you know? Leave the only important thing, but pack all this extra stuff in your backpack. It's like when you're already 2 minutes away from school and you gotta tell your mom like you forgot your backpack at home. Also, I want to point out I can feel the Rebecca Sugar art style again. Look at that. So the gems pause for a second as they realize like there's no time left.
Wait! I have an idea!
Could that work?
Does this mean Garnet sees a possibility of it working? Or is Sapphire just like, shit, I don't know, I never predicted Steven to bring a goddamn toy to the mission? This also, of course, enforces another seed into the audience's mind that like, okay, all the gems look at Garnet for guidance within the series, something that does weigh on her. So Steven places Mr. Squeezy on the pedestal, and Mr. Squeezy rises and rises. And from my complete over-analysis perspective, yeah, that shit blew up. And then we get this really cool one take of the Sea Spire breaking apart. Amethyst crashes into Garnet, and Steven runs into the frame as Pearl stumbles onto the right side of the screen. And then boom, a big crack and the floor breaks apart, all in one shot. It's very cool. So yeah, Steven failed. He made a mistake.
This is all my fault. I broke it.
No, Steven. The Spire was falling apart when we got here. You handled everything well under pressure. You did great.
Yeah, 2 out of 4 of your ideas worked. That's 50%.
Lines like this make it very apparent that they were truly testing the waters to see how well Steven could handle himself. And although the gems weren't very genuine with Steven about the origin of his Sea Spire, I think these reactions are truly genuine. As in, Steven did do some really smart stuff in this episode, but he's still a kid and ultimately he messes up, and that's okay. That's what being a kid is for, right? So the gems climb onto the raft and cheer on Steven.
Cheeseburger backpack! Cheeseburger backpack! Cheeseburger backpack!
It's a 3-hour paddle home.
Anyone want a wet bagel?
And that's how episode 3, Cheeseburger Backpack, ends. This episode gives us a lot more insight into the dynamics of the gems and how they specifically care and support Steven. This is also the first episode we leave Beach City and actively enter a dangerous setting. We get a ton of cool character moments we have not seen yet within the series. We see Pearl's motherly anxiety, her desire for cleanliness, her need to be seen, all in these little sprouts of dialogue. We see Amethyst's playful yet caring attitude towards Steven unfold, actively supporting him to come on the mission. We see her chant for Steven and follow his ideas. We also see Garnet's distant yet warm love towards Steven, and in the end, it's the gems who are assuring Steven that he did a good job. This episode clearly shows off each of the gems' relationships and dynamics with Steven, while also being able to recontextualize this moment later in the series as being a test for Steven. So like they were lying to Steven, but like it's okay because they were doing it out of love. Right? As we learn more about these characters, we learn how troubled they are, eventually leading up to that amazing scene in episode 35.
We're bad at this.
What?
More and more in this series, we'll see Steven's insight grow, and we'll see the gems' masks crack as Steven learns their secrets and their traumas. And I believe this episode plants that seed for that, and the payoff is long but surely worth it. I also really enjoy the fact that Mr. Queasy just straight up doesn't work on the pedestal. There's a sense of realism there, right? Like, no, Steven left behind the statue, it's not going to work. And I really do enjoy that. I like that Steven failed, because it was genuine, and his innovative ideas could still be celebrated. Alright, so next episode is Together Breakfast, which is just a classic, so subscribe to catch that one. Go watch this really cool hour-long video I made though, because YouTube is hiding it from you guys. Go look at the views. Go check it out. It's awesome. And of course, if you want to support me for $5 a month, you can right here on YouTube or on Patreon. Here soon, I'm going to make an overanalyzing episode about the pilot episode of Steven Universe, so that'll be for the members for supporting me, so thank you guys very much. Thank y'all for an amazing year in 2025. Alright, y'all, that's it. Bye-bye.